Hey soldiers, welcome back to another edition of Dominating on Conquest. Today we're going to do a little bit of an updated look at the Eastwood map on Conquest and show you just a few other things you can do. I know if you kind of do the same playstyle, the same old way, the game can get a little bit stale. So let me challenge you to think about running the assault. We're going to do some different spawn beacon placements. I also want to try to point out some different sniping positions if you're kind of getting tired of the just charging in the middle and gunning everybody down sort of thing. This map definitely is a well-balanced map. Lots of things to do. Vehicles, there's so many vehicles, especially the golf cart. Everybody loves running in a golf cart. I wish they would give you like a bulletproof windshield or something to give you a little protection in there. So as with all these, I can't show you everything. The video would take forever, and I'm going to have to try to do a little bit of running around, but I will try to hop into a vehicle and kind of take you to some important places as we go. I'm going to pull up the map while they're driving us. Most of the action tends to happen at C and at B and at E. So B and E are prime targets for the assault beacon. A and D, they're so close to the end cap, but D, it's hard to find a good spot for the spawn beacon at D. I'll show you a couple places that may work out for you, but we'll see. This guy's in a fast mover. I wish he would have taken us all the way over to C, but I'm going to point out a couple things while we're here. From A, let me get out of A real quick. If you're on the opposing team, which means you're coming from that E side, you may want to stick a spawn beacon like in this particular house here, right? Or a garage or work studio, whatever the case is. And then a lot of the houses over here on this street tend not to get like snooped in very much. So if you want to put a spawn beacon, you certainly could put it somewhere inside of here. Totally up to you. I'm going to show you a couple quick things about B before we run off from B. Spawn beacon locations. This house right here, as you're approaching B from our uncap, is a pretty reasonable house to stick one in because nobody really goes in it. The other place you can work for a spawn beacon, actually I'm going to show you where to capture it first, then we'll swing over and show you a spawn beacon placement. If I don't die from the helicopter. When I capture, I tend to capture behind these, I don't know, ammo crates or whatever the case are. Gives you a little visibility, especially into the middle where folks tend to be capturing from, and a little bit of protection, and you're kind of like out of the main path. If you're attacking or even need to defend it with a spawn beacon, I recommend coming over to this house in the back. Not directly in the garage because people can see it, but anywhere, especially upstairs in this particular house. I'll show you where I am on the map. It's a good spot for a spawn beacon. If you're into sniping, you can get some angles out here, especially watching over people that flank out in the open along the grass, but I tend to kind of move more up into the middle of things when I'm doing some sniping. I should have grabbed the golf cart. That would have been much, much faster. Okay, once C is captured, again, I would encourage you to think about doing the flank. If I need to do a fast flank, watch out, there's a vehicle guy right here. If you need to do a fast flank, I tend to run like right down that little covered alley. We'll see if we can get there before we get shot. So if I need to apply pressure at C, which in this case I do, you could put the beacon down here. People don't tend to come down here a ton. Everybody knows people put beacon like where the 4 is. So you're welcome to come on the back side of the wall like this and stick the beacon out here. If I put the right thing in. And then your team can come off of it, and then they can come into C either up the stairs, which, could have a hit or miss if you're going to do that part, or loop around the back side of them, like we are right here. Oh, should have gotten him too. Oh, whatever the case is. Oh, he's probably going to get run over. He just got run over. Oh, poor fella. I hate it when that happens to me, right? So that's a decent spot for you. Your team can then jump off of it and capture C, especially knowing that the other team is going to be looking to you to be coming from B and like over the big hill. I like putting the spawn beacon to be able to flank in that particular place. And these two houses are just really well traveled, so I tend not to put them in those houses. And then you have here, let's go off the beacon real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Well, actually, we're going to move the beacon for the next one. Up in these hills, people tend to run from D over to C, so I've never been successful at placing a beacon up here, and then likewise, up on that hill, there's just not a lot available to you. Now for D, You're going to notice like a similar theme. You could try to put the beacon like up here on the front side of D. I'm not going to try to capture D. Oh, there's a tank. He probably sees exactly where I am, right? Because I'll try to peek up. You can see it. Once it's been captured, people tend to just like level all the structures there. And then it's really difficult to capture. That sniper's watching me. Oh, I can't believe he... Oh, he's got the DRS. Yep, yep. He should win that battle. Okay, let's talk about a couple sniper spots. I'm going to jump off of this truck real quick. Get over here. There's a gazebo up. Are you serious? 210 meters away? No way. As I was saying, hopefully they won't destroy that thing. Alright, well, we'll just spawn off of this guy. Not a problem. Okay, there is a gazebo that's out there in the middle of the grounds here. I'm going to mark it on the map so you can see what I'm talking about. If you want someone that's kind of off the beaten track a bit, you don't have a lot of cover right where I marked the 4. So you're going to have to be real careful about sitting out there for too long, but you do have a little bit of a position up to the one side of C. It's a bit of a low elevation, so I don't tend to come out there a whole lot. The other place would be like out here along the rocks where I've marked 4. There'll be another place you can go and do some long distance sniping. Just be careful. When you come out there, you're running through open land to get to a spot like that. Okay, let's get our golf cart. The other team's having a bit of a tough time recapturing C. I feel bad for them. Alright, let's see if we can... Are you shooting at my golf cart? Well, now I gotta take this one. Okay, let's go over to E. Let's see if we can do this without crashing. Show you a couple of spawn beacon placements for E. Oh good, we're gonna run right into this truck. That's lovely. Hey fellas. I can't believe he didn't kill me there, poor little guy. Alright, if you can get up to the top of the upstairs, which would be like going up these crates. Alright, you can drop the spawn beacon up here if you want and apply continual pressure, like my squad mate is doing. Another place if you want to put the beacon down could be like somewhere in here. I haven't had a lot of good success in here because people tend to see it. And then you could tuck yourself like back into this area here because people don't tend to come here too much. Just know that there is a gap here that if they come from the spawn they could come up in. But a couple of different places. Most often, let's help my teammate go ahead and capture this thing. He's probably wondering why I'm not on the spawn point. Most often everybody puts the beacon right there in 4 where you see the destroyed house. And so that's kind of like the first place they go looking for a beacon. So I tend not to put it over there. Oh, man, that's all you, engineer. I got nothing for that tank. Of course, you got a DMR. Alright, so that's the spawn beacon placement for E. I'll let the team spawn off of that one. They can go and capture it. Okay, so let's do another one for A. Let me show you another quick spot for A. Everybody tends to be in this pink house, so I just want to advise against putting the beacon in that house. I'm a little more successful if you want a spawn beacon placement like here in this garage. So I'll show you where I am from the map perspective. And this particular garage is a pretty decent spot if you want to apply some pressure at A. I do want to note, you can see my teammates that are over here sniping way off to the side of the map. Oh, this guy. I'm trying to record stuff here. Get out of the way. The snipers are way off to the side of the map. That's a pretty decent sniping spot. And if you ever do breakthrough, that's the area that you're going to want to be able to capture and work from. So here's our teammates doing some sniping up there. It is extremely difficult to do the flank right down this... Go away, Holmes. It is extremely difficult to do the flank up in here just because there's not a lot of like available road to be able to run from. So you'll just have to be forewarned about that. it's much easier to take like a fast-moving vehicle and use some cover from these cars. Also want to advise, like, against sniping on the big hill here. Everybody knows people snipe on the big hill. So if you want to get kind of an upper elevation, don't like stand right at the crest of the hill and snipe down. You may want to come over to, I tend to do it like from this rock, so I've got a little bit of cover and shoot at folks. And then when I do a little bit of advancing, I will snipe into like the front side of C, like from here, or clear off like that guy that's up on the roof or whatever it is. These guys are just bound and determined trying to kill me here. Okay, I'll fight you if you really want me to, but not trying to. This guy hiding in the grass. Okay. Hey, that's what's fun for you. You knock yourself out. Okay, let me show you one other spawn beacon placement at C. Let's see if I can get up there before we get destroyed from whatever's over there. Nope, we are not. He is just going to sit here with us. Oh, because they've capped everything behind us. All right. I guess we should go after a post here. Well, actually, you know what? There, let me show you our one spot on C. We'll just come at it from the other side. Nobody in here? Okay, no, nobody in here. All right. I missed the ladder. All right, so let's get up on the roof. So hard to do because the helicopter has access to it, but when your helicopter can send you down and you can parachute down into this upper part of the roof, I would definitely recommend putting the spawn beacon up here where I've marked the 4. It's a pretty decent spot. Just know that the helicopter on the other team can usually see it and usually wipe it out, but I've had a pretty mixed bag approach to that particular beacon. I tend not to get it destroyed that often, but I do want to just note to you, don't be surprised if the helicopter sees it and wipes it out. Okay, so from B, again, when I capture B, I'm back behind these things. Yeah, sometimes there's a wall here to protect you, hopefully. The other place you can do it, sorry for the crazy coloring on the screen, would be like somewhere inside of this house, right? Like hiding, but you're a little bit outside of the spawn, the capture radius when you get really deep into this house where you need some protection from. Else you're like out here in kind of the middle of the road, which means you need the baby gate. Okay, let's run back and grab A real quick. The fun thing about A is when you're a sniper, you've got a lot of options for that motion detector because people are going to be coming right down this main street. You see our whole team coming right there. So when we attack A, we tend to come from this side after we've captured B. And notice that my team is shooting at the pink building because that's where everybody tends to hide. So again, when you're capturing it, don't put the spawn beacon there. Again, go after the garage that everybody is completely ignored. Oh, poor fella. And here comes their helo. Okay. Alright, and then when you approach C from this side, if you don't have a fast-moving vehicle, I tend to take the route that I'm showing you on the screen where I'm like cutting through a bunch of cover between vehicles. And then I'm not going to go over the crest of the hill. Again, I'll show you like where I was talking about the sniping position. I tend to come down through this part of it. You just have to be forewarned. A lot of people like to camp like right where I'm singling that guy out. I think there's another guy in there with him, right? There's 2 of them there. Just watching the door, and now he's on the big 50 cal. So again, if you're advancing as a sniper, this is a good place for you to be able to pick a few folks off when you've got like a nice zoomed in lens. So you can see them in there. And they're fighting my poor squad mate down there. We'll go ahead and use the tree since it still exists for a little bit of cover. We'll sneak up on him a little bit. Oh, never mind. He got rid of our cover. Oh, well. This guy's laying there again. He's funny. Hey, man. As long as you enjoy what you're doing. All right, let's take a fast mover. Let me show you one more quick thing about D, and then we will call it quits for some different spawn beacon locations. When you're on the other team, there's a giant hill outside of your spawn because you've got some good height. You certainly can do some sniping out of there. Just know that the other team knows that you're going to snipe out of there, so you're going to have to do a little bit of duck and cover. We'll get across all this madness right quick. Hey, there's that sniper in the gazebo. Someone in the gazebo. Okay. Alright, let me pause here for a moment. You could spawn beacon out here if you needed something that's like way out of the way. Alright, so there's that sniper. He's still after me. And then if I'm on the other team, I'm just going to ignore capturing D. Sorry for the crazy lighting that's happening over at B. There's just some fluke in the way the graphics work in this game. A lot of people like to come up here, like up on this hill, when you're on the other team, and be able to do some long distance sniping because you can see the rooftop of C, right? See, like this poor guy is. You've got some cover when you need it to be able to drop down and clear, and you can be able to come up more straight up, and you can see everybody coming right out of the back of C. This guy's so proud of himself. He's like, I killed him. I killed him. So I think that about covers it in terms of some different spawn beacon locations and some sniping positions you might want to consider. They're a little bit off of the beaten path. The other place you can do some fighting is everybody likes to cluster inside there, that hallway, whatever the case is. So I would say it's definitely reasonable. I'm going to probably get shot doing this to be able to kind of be peeking up over the grass bushes and firing into there if you got like a little bit of a zoom lens, especially if you're trying to capture it, like my squaddy is doing here. And then, as usual, with this particular map, oh, let's see if I can do this. I got shot here. Jeez. People are shooting at me like they don't want me to capture their objective. Yep, there he is. Good grief. I'm going to recommend swinging around the back side of C because they're looking for you to attack from that side or the front. So, yeah, let's use our spawn beacon and let's try to capture D real quick, even though the tank's right there. Okay, so you see, here's the visualization of how hard it is to capture D. Like, there is nothing to hide behind, except for a couple of little planters, right? So it's kind of like, good luck to you, man. You got no cover. I think there's a golf cart. That's about all you got, right? Yep, there it is. So these two planters are about all I've ever found to be successful and just trying to crawl around. I'd recommend being an engineer if you're going to capture this because you're so close to the enemy's uncap. See, I mean, look how close we are, right? And then there's a tank there. He's like, I'm just going to kill you. So if you're capturing D later in the game, go with an engineer in your squad because there's just not much left for you to have cover from, and they like to park their tanks up there. Okay? All right, let's make one more pass at C. Well, let's talk about attacking. All right, now I'll actually shoot enemies. I don't know how to kill that guy. All right, we'll use some cover from the bushes. I've got my... Somebody's over here. I heard somebody to my left, but I don't want to stop for him. Oh, should have stopped for him. Oh, he's 72 meters out. Good shot, friend. Why are anti-airs rolling into the middle of C? I am not entirely sure, but whatever the case is. All right. Capturing C, once the building is massively destroyed like you're seeing it now, when you want to capture, I'm going to recommend this particular hill out here. When you're coming from our side, where we have A and B, let me show you where again on that. When we own A and B, and that's our headquarters, I'll capture from here because the enemy tends to come right from there. Well, come on, Hilo. Calm down, buddy. You can see them. They're going to come from that side, and so you've got a bit of an angle on it. Let me show you the other side. Well, if we can capture C quick enough. Okay, oh good, we're going to come from this side. There's another guy coming. Oh, I got switched around in the doors. Oh, that's so sad. Come on, game. Oh, they took it. All right, well, I won't be able to show that to you. Well, I think that's a pretty decent spot. Well, actually, here, we'll try to make one quick run for it. Come on, squatty. When you're coming from their headquarters, and you have to be, it would be D and E. Well, this is going to be tough because the tank is like literally laying or shooting right from that place that I want to show you at. So I do not believe we're going to be able to show it to you. We'll try real quick. It is. Good grief. What are they doing? Jeez. At any rate, are these rocks that I'm now dead in. I like this particular pillar right in here. You've got some good visibility into kind of both sides where the enemy is going to be at. Let me show you on the map, kind of a zoomed in look. Like so when I'm capturing from their side, this is where I tend to capture from to give you some good visibility to attack that part to it. Okay, so just wanted to share a few of those particular places. I think that'll help you be even more successful on this particular map. Helicopters, if you can do some helicopter pilot, you can drop people off all over the place and you just kind of keep the enemy's head spinning. Because most often the way this map plays out is you capture the two. See how the helicopter just dropped off those two yellows right there? That is the perfect strategy for this particular map, is getting in the helo and you just start dropping folks at the other enemies. Come back, you just keep dropping them, because it keeps drawing their forces away from C. When C is super heavy guarded, like look how many teammates I've got on this, right? I've got a tank out there. It is so easy to cap and hard to defend. And so when you can drop your teammates off at the enemy's rear objectives to draw their team back that way, C becomes easier to capture. So just wanted to point that out as a couple of different strategies to help you with the map. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with a few more of these.